Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissack. Thank you so much for joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very, very much. Always glad to get updates from the guy who knows what's happening in the parish, Mr. Earl Eues. Earl, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Keith.
And I'd give you your title every time, but man, it just takes forever.
Yeah, I know.
And again, Department of Homeland Security, Director of Emergency Preparedness, amongst other things. And so we are actually feeling like we're starting to get a little bit more momentum in the recovery process. Well, I think there are some people that are still feeling the impact here several months after the hurricane.
Yeah, it's, well, at the end of this month, it'll be 6 months since the hurricane and Ida. And then, just let people know FEMA is still in town. Mm-hmm. The Disaster Recovery Center will be closing Friday. Okay. So you won't be able to go in person, but you'll still be able to call in if you have any issues with FEMA, or you can get online at disasterassistance.gov. But FEMA's distributed close to about $150 million in the community to help with repairs and housing assistance and other issues. What they call it other needs assistance. And then SBA has come in and has dropped to maybe about $123 million for individual loans or business loans. Mm-hmm. So, and they're still in the area also. GOSEP is still in town. We still have the housing, temporary housing going on with the trailers. Mm-hmm. So most of people, everybody calls them FEMA trailers, but half the program is the state and half the program is FEMA. Right. So the latest news, we got about 2,000 families in the state trailer system, and we got about 370 in the FEMA program. So things are moving along. Mm-hmm. I know if you're not in the trailer right now, you think it's going very slow, and we understand that. So we're doing everything we can to try to expedite the process. We have a group site that's going to be completed by the 1st of March. And then a couple of group sites that they're working on right now to try to speed up the process to get more trailer spots available. Okay,
and that requires a lot of infrastructure. You got to make sure that you've got sewage and water and electricity and all of those things.
That's correct, and there's an inspection process for the installation. There's an inspection process for the utilities. We just need to make sure people are safe while they're inside of these temporary trailers.
Right. And we're talking almost 2,400 families.
That's correct.
In trailers. And that's not including some of those trailers that people have purchased and some of those trailers that insurance has provided. So there's probably another 400 or 500 in the area of people that have kind of done some of those things on their own or with their insurance.
That's correct. And one of the issues that we found with the FEMA trailers and the state trailers is they don't have washer and dryers in them. Mm-hmm. Some of the FEMA trailers have hookups for them, but if you lost your washer and dryer, it was damaged, there's no way you can bring it in there. But we have placed 2 washer and dryer facilities, one in Dulac and one in Chauvin. Mm-hmm. Both of them are at the recreation departments in those areas, and we're in the process of looking for an active site by Rebecca to put the 3rd trailer. But the one in Dulac and one in Montague is currently open and operating.
Wow. So that's exciting. And we also had somebody from the National Weather Service kind of come down, speaking of where recovery meets let's get prepared.
That's correct. Yesterday we was able to meet with the the director of the National Hurricane Center, which is Ken Graham, and his staff. Those are the forecasters that do all the work. Mm-hmm. And they came down to La Rose yesterday, and we were able to have a discussion with him. And we basically spent the whole day with that group. Asking questions and finding out what's new and what for the upcoming year, and also got a little history on the previous hurricanes, in the area. Over the last 100 years, there's only been 4 Category 5 hurricanes in this area. Okay, and Hurricane Ida ranks as I think the 6th strongest hurricane to hit the coast of Louisiana. Yeah. So, the other thing he stressed yesterday was all the products that they have for the public regarding storm surge.
Okay.
and getting the storm surge warnings out and getting the graphics out. The most deaths caused in a hurricane is from water. Okay.
Always, always,
Yes.
always.
So so they're stressing those products and to be able to have, let people see on graphs and graphics, how high the water's going to be and where it's going to be, so that people can plan accordingly and make sure that they evacuate because of the depth of the water that we may experience from storm surge.
Yeah, and so really good information with that, and so we appreciate it. We even got a guy asking some really good questions or answering some questions there in the audience, and so that's just one of those things. Did they give us any idea? And I know it's one of those things maybe early about how active they think this particular season may be.
No, they did not give any predictions yet.
Okay, good.
Those usually come out in May.
Okay.
So they're going to hold.
Maybe we got to wait for that.
The weather patterns change and
Sure.
El Nino and La Nina and all of that. So they'll wait till May to give us those predictions. But people ask me, what you think about the predictions this year? I really don't worry about the predictions.
Okay.
We always plan for the worst case
Right.
scenario here.
Prepare for the worst and celebrate it when it doesn't
That's
happen.
correct. And so, I always tell people it doesn't matter if the Hurricane Center predicts 10 major storms, which it won't be, probably around 5 or 6. All it takes is one of those.
Yeah. Ida is a great example of that, and so always want to be prepared. Yeah. Speaking of being prepared, when we come back, you got some really exciting news about something that people can kind of keep up with you and what's going on with your department. But man, some really exciting news for you guys and this new app. Let's talk a little bit about its formation.
Yeah, so we always trying to find ways to let people know get information out, and everybody has their phone now, and everybody holds on to their phone and
with dear life.
Yeah, so we decided we would get an app made for a smartphone, and so it went live yesterday. It's available on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Right.
There you can see up there. You can search Terrebonne OSEP. And download the app. We were just notified that the scan deal on here is not working properly, but we'll get that fixed today. But go online in your App Store or the Google Play, download the app. Basically, as you see on the screen here, there's some icons there. Your emergency plan, you can devise your plan and keep it on the phone. There is an evacuation zones, which is pretty cool. You click on that, the map of the parish's evacuation zones show up.
Wow.
You put your address in there, and it tells you what zone you're in.
Right.
So that's pretty good. The emergency guidebook, that's our guidebook we push out every year regarding different informations on different emergencies. It's not just hurricanes.
Right.
So you can go in there, and it's broken down into different sections.
Right.
That you can go take a look at. The COVID-19, that is information on COVID. You can get our updates on there. There's vaccination sites and testing sites are located on there. So, and then we have report an incident, and that's a pretty cool site. You can report a weather incident. You can report any damages. If you have a City of Houma power outage. So if you're on the city utilities, you can report an outage on there.
Wow.
And we forward those to the utility department. Any street flooding, business flooding, or if you have a hazmat incident that you think that needs to be reported, you can put them on here. You can put your information on there. If you would like the address, you can take pictures and send us the pictures.
And upload those.
And we have the pictures of whatever you're trying to report. The important links, there's all kind of information regarding just different things that the Office of Emergency Preparedness handles and does some training on. There's stuff about our parish reentry on there, contraflow, how to evacuate with pets. There's FEMA information on there. So just a bunch of links that people can go to get additional information.
And just so people know, Earl is literally going through the app on 2 phones. So there's the app and how you see it on an iPhone. There's an app and how you see it on the Android phone, and Earl is doing that with both of those. So just so you know, that's how easy it is. But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's
Go ahead,
okay.
Earl.
That's okay. And then we have road closures. We're working on this like I said, it just went live yesterday, but we're working on the road closures incidents. What it goes to now is a map from DOTD,
Right.
and it shows the cameras, but you have to sign in on it with DOTD. So we're trying to fix that, but
Trying
we
to
will
bypass
also
that.
we'll put road closures from the parish. We'll post those on there, and people can see those when they come up. It'll also be a push notification. So, like if you're using some apps and and you want to get a notification when we put something, it'll send you a little banner on your phone letting you know, hey, there's been an update on the app, or there's some additional information that you can get.
So when it offers you that, you want to say yes to that, so that
Push
you get those push
notifications.
notifications
That's
when
correct.
there's something updated through the office.
There's a real important button on here. It's called Where I Am. No matter where you're at in the country, if you press that button, it'll show you where you're at. And then it actually gives you a Latin long and approximate address in what area you're in, just in case if you have an emergency and you really don't know what street you're on or what address. This will pinpoint you to where that location is through your phone.
Wow.
There was some talk about it, maybe not putting that, but I think it's very important that if somebody knows they have that, no matter where they are in the country, they can just open up the app, click it, and say, hey, this is where I'm at. I got an emergency here. So that's a pretty good feature on there. There's a button on there to share our app. If you want to send it to someone else, there's a button for that. There's a news button. If we have any news or a newsletter or something to publish, we can put that on there. There's a location to go to any updates that we put on our Terrebonne Parish alert system. Will
Okay.
also go on there. So if we issue an evacuation order or some type of other emergency information, it'll go directly to that emergency alert. And then, like everything else, you can get the weather.
Okay.
So if you need the weather for the city of Houma, wherever, you can get the weather on here. We would love to have feedback.
Okay.
So that on here you can give some feedback. If you got a suggestion, we'd love to get that so that we can improve the app and make it as friendly as possible for the residents that use it.
And thankfully, some of the HTV staff here in the production room gave you some feedback today.
That's correct, and that's what we're looking for.
Right.
So I think, as with everything else, there's always room for improvement, and so we're looking for things to do that, and we're always trying to find more ways to get information out to the public.
Right.
So we feel like this is an app you can go to if there's something going on that you think that we may be giving notifications on. You can go to this app and check and see if there's anything on it.
And I can tell you guys it's easy to do, because if I can do it, you can do it. And so again, you can download the app for free today. If you got an Android, you can go to your app store. If you've got an iPhone, you can go to Google Play. Simply search Terrebonne, OHSEP. Easy enough to download. Earl, I'm so excited. This is something that we really can allow everybody to really stay connected and get updates very quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be a good tool for everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get loaded on mom and dad's phones so they know exactly what's happening on their iPhones. Earl, can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing
Thank
this
you,
with us.
Keith. Appreciate being here.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that'll do it for this segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming with HTV when we continue.